Anaiis Salles here, and I want to share some insights about the process of manifestation and where we are with the process of both manifestation and, quote, ascension in 2016. I've always been someone for whom manifestation came fairly easily and quickly. And I want to touch on this topic because if you're like me, you may be just coming out of a period where manifestation was extremely difficult. And you may be still in a period where manifestation is extremely difficult and you're still feeling a bit stumped, baffled, and frustrated about why you're not able to manifest the things that you're used to being able to handle with ease. From let me go back. For the last 5 years, as the very, very silent war has been going on between the earth and the energies that have really been attempting to kill the earth and kill humanity, and the energies that are attempting to create a pseudo-reality that's earth-like and mimicking our Mother Earth and mimicking the things that she has as her natural resources, mimicking seeds, the fact that Monsanto has the gall to think that it can patent seeds that we use to grow our fruits and vegetables. It's just completely outrageous. And there's this overarching narrative of mimicry that is trying to substitute natural creation after natural creation after natural creation, all the while seducing dear sweet human beings into thinking that everything's really it's just okay. It's really okay. It's your imagination. What's happening here feels really terrible, but it's just your imagination. There's no conspiracy. There's no sinister plot. And so I have, in the last 5 years, in order to align with where the earth is now and to delightfully have taken up residence on Earth 2 in 2012, before the December 21st deadline. In October, I had made that transition and that choice. There has been a very, very, very intense and a protracted and extended period of detoxification and purification. So I want to give you a little bit of the sense of what I myself have lived through, and I know most of us who are aligned with the earth and the natural energy of the earth have been having a really rough go of it. Very, very, very hard. So for the better part of 5 years, I have lived alone. But not only have I lived alone, but I have spent all day, every day, alone. Alone with my thoughts, alone with my feelings, alone with my memories, alone with my urges. And this has gone on for 5 years. Now, every other weekend or so, I have a very loving and caring family, and they would come and scoop me up, and I'd get to go to the supermarket or enjoy some kind of a family outing. But as part of this detoxification and purification process, which led to my awakening into the depth of the dynamic of a taking energy that was deeply embedded in my psyche and in my body, and having to really face that taking energy. And it's a long, slow process because it's not easy to unearth. It's not easy to find in ourselves. We don't see it. We're blind to it. Some of us are more blind to it than others. So in the 5 years, every creation every manifestation, except a very few, that I set out to accomplish with my intention and with my loving heart, and also with my personal will, became an incomplete or an unsatisfying creation. I need to stress this, because not only are we frustrated with our ability to manifest things, but when we do manifest them, in the last 5 years at least, this has been true for me, majority of the time, until you bear it down to the bone, the manifestations have been incomplete and or unsatisfying, because they have not been based in earth-centered and heart-centered reality. So that's a very painful thing to have to say, but I will go back again. 5 years, day in and day out, alone, listening, feeling, being aware of my body. And from 2013 to just about the end of December of 2015, I was also in excruciating pain. And I went to allopathic medicine, and they could find no source for this pain. I had hurt my back, but it was a kind of back injury that should have cleared up. It did not clear up. I was in agony and could barely walk more than 10 or 15 steps without literally seeing stars. This is how much this hurt. So 2 years of that, in addition to being alone all day, every day. Now, during this time, I also started a business, Tech Talk Cafe. I have a fair amount of comfort with working online and with computers. And I started a tech coaching business for people who struggle with getting themselves online and manifesting what they would like to create with an online business. So times were impossibly hard. I lived day to day, sometimes hour to hour, not knowing how I would meet my expenses. My family very generously was able to help me. After my back injury, I gave up my car. There was no point in repairing it or insuring it. It was just an expense I could not afford. And I had a trickle of clients that really kept things afloat, but only afloat. And this was very challenging for me because, as I said, I was used to manifesting things easily and comfortably and quickly. And I kept feeling like I was running into a wall. And I knew that my intentions were coming from the right place, and I knew that my spiritual work was coming from a clear place, and I knew that my heart was coming from a loving place. And in this 5-year period of time, there isn't a day that I did not wake up and express gratitude for what I had, rather than focusing on what I did not have. So this was the purification process. The detoxification included, I stopped watching television. I gave up my cable subscription. I stopped reading newspapers and magazines, and I confined my news source, this daily news source, to what information I would have access to on the radio. And eventually I even gave that up because I began to hear so acutely that I could hear when the radio airwaves were including coded messages that are meant to be deceiving and destructive to humanity and to planet Earth. So in that time, my skills as a healer, because I was alone every day and all day, were redirected to situations, scenarios, and difficulties around the globe, which included hotspots for global conflict, It included working on the CERN LHC Collider facility and other facilities like it to disable them, disarm them, slow them down. And I know they're going to want to be up and running again in March, and I do hope that all of you will join with many of us now around the globe who will do our absolute utmost to ensure that we go into the rest of this year without CERN doing the damage that it is intent on doing. So I don't know how to describe what I went through. I was alert to everything I felt. I was absolutely made abundantly conscious of fear states and how I felt in my body and the material that came up every single day. Maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks I would get what I would call a break, and nothing came up for me to process, either to detoxify or to purify. Certainly in that time there was no dating, there was very little social activity other than a few well-chosen companions, friends. Absolutely no sexual energy being exchanged with another person. I joked with a friend today that for all intents and purposes, I was reliving one of my lives as a Tibetan monk, and I was all alone in some mountaintop cave, praying for the world and working on my own condition of karma.